Hi everyone. Thanks again for joining us for the Full Stack Lunch and Learn webinar series. My name's Cam O'Riordan. I head up the sales and marketing team here at Stack Sports, APAC and EMEA. Today we're proud to be able to be joined by our partners at Geosnapshot. We've got Andy Edwards and Angela online from Geosnapshot. Welcome to you both. And thank you very much for joining us today for the Full Stack. I think this session for everyone attending today is going to be very beneficial. We'll learn out different ways we can keep our members engaged, increase revenue during this unusual period that we're all going through. So Andy, thanks very much for joining us, and I'll hand the reins over to you.
Thanks very much, Cam, and thanks for everyone joining us online. Hopefully everyone can hear me okay and see my screen here with the Geosnapshot logo in the middle and the photos around the outside. So firstly, what I want to say is, a very big welcome to you all. We know it's a very difficult time for clubs and sports communities in Australia and worldwide. And I think it's a great initiative from Stack Sports to be able to bring us together and to be able to jointly together find some solutions to some of the problems that we're facing. And I know Stack Sports, along with us, really feel that sports clubs are the lifeblood of our communities, and rightly so. A lot of people engage with, compete, and support the sports clubs. And certainly Geosnapshot and Stack Sports together, really do the utmost that we can to help you. And especially at these times, we're really racking our brains to see how we can be of benefit to the clubs. And in this presentation, I want to go through really how we can help you at this time. So feel free to ask questions, as Cam said, throughout the presentation. I guess Cam might interrupt me or save them to the end. But really, I want this to be really making this time count for you. I know that everybody's time is very precious and everybody's working very hard. So really, I want this to be a presentation really about how effectively we can go through a number of small steps to be able to help the sports clubs at this time. It's not a presentation about how wonderful Geosnapshot is. It's really a presentation about activity for you, utilizing our platform to engage your members at this time and also to generate revenue if you choose to do that. So I wanted to take a little bit of time, and this is the sort of agenda that we'll run through, observations of activity that we're seeing around the world with participants of sporting events, with sports clubs, with event organizers, and also with photographers. I want to take really an opportunity to discuss how we can engage participants and members of sports clubs at this time and drive revenue, and also go through our commitment to help you and get you started with some real activity that can help you and actions that you can take right now. So let's jump into this and state up front that really our mission as Geosnapshot is to provide everyone with great moments of their lives through photography. And we're really focusing, excuse the pun, focusing our business and our attention on sports memories and sports clubs and sports activities. And the reason for that is that really sports are some of our most valued memories that we have. And in terms of photos, very, very valuable to us, but they're often the most difficult to find. And the reason for that is that professional, organized sports organizations, sports photography companies only cover about 2% of the sports activities that go on globally. And there may be sports photographers at your club. You may have a regular sports photographer, there may be somebody from the club, but usually those photos appear in ad hoc places. They might appear sometimes on Facebook, Sometimes they might appear on a Dropbox site. Sometimes they might go into a very small gallery on one of your websites. So they're actually very difficult for people to find, but they're very precious memories. So we support sports events all over the world, and this is a map of the events. Obviously, lots in Australia, an Australian-based and born company, but we now support events in 66 countries. We've supported over 10,000 sporting events with 2 million participants, and we host 7.1 million photos on our platform. We never delete any photos from our platform because those photos are precious memories of people's lives. So Geosnapshot as a whole is an integrated platform. It supports event organizers to be able to create their event on our platform and have photographers upload to those events. These events can be in the past. We want to focus this presentation on archived photos, so things that you have in your possession now, which you can get out to participants. But also in the future as well, when we do start running events again, you can either have your own photographers at the event, you can use professional photographers, or you can call out to Geosnapshot photographers. But we're going to focus at the moment on archive photos and creating an event on our platform and getting those photos out to the participants of the events. So some of the observations that we've seen, and this is worldwide, is that there is, no matter what sort of size organization you are, and we deal with very large organizations globally like Tough Mudder, for example. We support them in 11 countries with all of their events throughout the year. They, along with clubs, want to engage their members. So at this time, there's messaging been going out about the bad news, about the cancellations of events, about the not able to run the sports events, people not able to compete in those events, even major events obviously being cancelled on a global basis. So we're used to, as sports organisations, you're used to being able to communicate with your participants on a regular basis. You can tell them what's coming up and what's happening. And at this stage, there's sort of been some, I guess, bad news messaging a few weeks ago about cancellations. And we want to keep an engagement with those members. And how do we do that? Well, members also want to be connected with the clubs. They want to feel that the club that they love, that they compete with, that they've grown up with, is still there for them. But obviously there's nothing going on at those clubs. So we're seeing both a need for engagement from clubs and a want from the members to be engaged with. You may well also have sponsors as part of the club who have been very supportive of the club over the time, and you may well want to or need to push out thanks to those sponsors, and you may well have obligations, financial obligations that you need and would like to adhere to. The other thing that we're seeing, and some clubs may well be feeling this, is an uncertainty about some of the financial position of the club itself. We're seeing government grants coming through and things like that, which you may or may not be eligible for. But certainly financial positions, depending on where you are, could be an uncertain position for you at this stage. So what we're trying to do as Geosnapshot is really help you, no matter what size of event you are, from a charity through to a school or a club, a state body, right the way through to a Tough Mudder as a global organization. So how are we going to be doing that? Well, I'm going to take you through in a minute exactly how you can get started on the Geosnapshot platform and be able to start having some actual activity to be able to share your photos, archive photos from the club to the participants. But let's just look at where those photos might be and how we might get those photos out to participants. Well, we've got some very cool technology, which is searching for photos using a selfie. So you can upload a selfie of yourself and our platform will be able to find every photo of you participating in that particular event. And this is really great for events that don't have bib numbers, for example, for people to be able to find themselves quickly and easily. Where do these photos come from? So the photos come from the club photographers themselves. So every club will have an archive of photos somewhere. It might be accessible to some people, but it might be that you need to call out to photographers who have been taking photos at the club so that we can combine all the photos into one place to enable the participants to have engagement there. So club photographers, members of the club, could be club committees that have been taking photos in the past, that might have posted them onto Facebook, for example, and mums and dads. All those people can be engaged and invited to upload photos to your club within Geosnapshot. How do we share these photos out? Well, you can share them via a single link in an email or on Facebook, that people can click on that and go and see those photos on the Geosnapshot website. But what we also provide is a customizable page, which can be embedded into the club's website. So this is just as simple as embedding, say, a YouTube video into your own website. You can embed the whole of the photo viewing platform of Geosnapshot into your own website, making it look and feel like your own photo viewing platform. And I'd like to show you some of that now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to a Tough Mudder event. And we're going to look at this web page. Now, this web page is the Tough Mudder website for displaying of photos. So it's their photos page on Tough Mudder. And as you can see here, it's actually in Tough Mudder's pages. It's toughmudder.co.uk. And you can see that there's a whole range of events down here. So this is the latest, the last event that they actually ran before COVID-19 kicked off. And you can see all of their events down here. Now, this whole page is Geosnapshot embedded into the page in the Tough Mudder website. So this banner is customizable on the Geosnapshot website. You can just see here, powered by Geosnapshot. The colors that are represented here are set on Geosnapshot to look like the brand colors from Tough Mudder up here. Okay, so each time an event is created in here, it's added to this page, and it means that Tough Mudder can just keep driving people back to this web page for them. If I click on one of those events, it takes me to the viewing of the photos still within the Tough Mudder area, or indeed your own web page. And so we can scroll down here and we can have a look at all of these photos. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload a photo. I'm going to show you a photo first, I guess. So you can see here there's a number of branding opportunities for your sponsors. There's one down here, which is a burnt-on brand on the image here. And there's also a watermark that goes over the front of the photos, which can act as another branding opportunity. And it obviously disappears, so that if you are selling these photos, you can actually stop people screen copying these photos by putting a watermark over it. But you can actually zoom into the photo as well to see the detail of the photos there. So so that's some of the cool technology that we've got there. Let's see if I can upload a selfie and go onto my desktop. And let's see. Let's see if I can just download. What I'll do is actually go to geosnapshot.com, and I'm going to go and search for a photo to show you the photo viewing on the platform. So show you a selfie search. So I'm going to come into here, and I'm going to take a photo of myself, and you can see that it's taking my photo on my camera, and it has uploaded me to Geosnapshot. It's facially analyzing me on the platform, and it's comparing me to every photo on the Geosnapshot platform. Okay, so you can see here that the photo viewing has picked me up. That's me and the wife at an event, and me and some of the team here. And so you can do this photo viewing within any part of the Geosnapshot platform. So it means that you can come to your own event here. I didn't compete in this event, so it won't find me here. But you can come to an event, upload your selfie, and it will find every photo of you on this platform. So it's a really quick and easy way for people to be able to find themselves on the Geosnapshot platform.
So we've just had a question come through. It was around the watermark on the photos for sponsors. Are organisations limited to one watermark, or can they have several across the asset of the photos, or is there just a space for one watermark per the photo?
Yeah, great question. So there's two types of what we call, I guess, watermark for us is the thing in the middle, which disappears when we sort of zoom over it like this. And so there's only one of those watermarks, but there is also the branded logos on the photos themselves down here, and you can have multiple of those on the photos, okay? So we tend not to recommend that there's more than two on the photos because it can get a bit messy. But yes, you can certainly have one here, and you can have one here, for example, bottom left and bottom right. And you can set those up, and they're automatically put onto the photos, no matter which photographer uploads. So the photographer doesn't need to do any action with those; they're automatically put onto the photos. But yes, you can have multiple, and you can have them at different parts of the photo as well. So you can top left, top right. You can set that up however you want to. Does that answer that question?
Perfect. Thank you, Andy.
Awesome. So keep those questions coming through, and we can work through them. So that's great. So here's how we can engage and drive revenue. This is the real guts of what we're talking about here. So really, all clubs have archives of photos. We suggest gathering those archives of photos together and uploading them onto the Geosnapshot platform. It's very easy to do. I'm actually going to take you through an example of how to do that within 3 minutes. Right after this slide. So the reason for doing that is that you can share those photos with your members via a single link on Facebook, via an email link, and they can go in and they can use this selfie searching to have some fun finding themselves from previous events. And those members that get their photos will share them on social media, they will tag friends, and it will drive organic social for your club. It'll also provide quite a lot of fun for the members to engage with themselves, and you'll see quite a lot of activity from that. Also, you'll have these photos forever as a memory of your club on the Geosnapshot platform, and as I said, you can embed that photo viewing into your website itself, so it's a page within your website. Now, you can choose on Geosnapshot whether you want to share the photos completely free of charge, or whether you want to sell the photos as a fundraiser for your club. So you can set any price that you want to on these photos. So it's a really flexible platform enabling you to do something completely for free or to charge any price you want to for those photos and receive revenue for your club. So what I'd like to do is go through and actually show you how to set this up. Now, this video, I think, is being recorded, so you can come back at any time and look at this presentation and work your way through it. Also, you can reach out to us on Geosnapshot and onto our YouTube channels, and we can show you exactly how to get started on the platform. So the first thing that you do, it's going to take 3 minutes, by the way, so hopefully I can do it within 3 minutes. Perhaps somebody get the clock ticking. You come to the Geosnapshot website, and you're going to go to log in and sign up. Now, I've already logged in, so it'll take me here, but otherwise you would go to a sign up page, and you would go to there and select I am an event organizer, okay? So once you've done that and filled in your name and your email address and things like that, you will get to the event organizers dashboard page, which looks like this, okay? So there's a number of different mechanisms that we can do here. There's different areas in the account setup, but the two main items on the screen are create an event and manage your events, okay? We've got no events in here right now, so this is a brand new account that we've just set up by registering on Geosnapshot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create an event, and an event is a collection of albums that hold photos, okay? It's just as simple as that. So we're going to go create an event which is in the past. So I'm going to call this Stack Demo Event, and I'm going to create this as an area for archived photos. So I'm just going to say it's the 11th of January is when the event actually happened. It only happened over one day, so that's fine. I'm going to say it as in DY, which is where I am. And I'm going to choose the type of event. It was a running event, and how many participants were at the event. So obviously it's a historical event, so I'm going to say there was 500 people running in this event. The next question asks us how many photographers we would like to request for the event. So you could, if this is a future event, which obviously when you're running your events in the future, you can request Geosnapshot photographers. You've already got the photos for this event. It's an archive event, so you don't need any photographers. So 0 goes in there. My contact information is fine. And then the pricing information. Well, how much do you want to sell these photos for? So I can share these photos completely free of charge through the platform. I can set what we call a standard price, which is $10.95 each. It's just an idea of a standard price. Or I can set any price that I want to in this box here. I'm going to set the standard price for the photos, and I'm going to go and create the event now. Okay, so this is my event management page. In here, I can actually go and invite photographers to this event. So this is where, if there's a club photographer that wants to upload photos or has photos from past events, you can invite them in here. joe@gmail.com, hit invite. And it's now sent an invitation to that photographer to be uploading photos to this particular event, okay? So I'm going to demonstrate now that the club, myself, I have some photos for this event, and I'm going to go and upload some photos as well as inviting that photographer. So I'm going to come into manage my event here. You can see our demo event. I'm going to come in and simply upload photos. And it's going to say here that there's no recent events here. That's because our event was created in the past. So I'm going to come in here. I can see it, the 11th of January. And I'm going to create an album underneath this event, or inside, if you like, this event. I'm going to call it Album 1. Okay? I'm going to create that album. It's going to take me to the photo uploading area. And I can drag and drop in here, or I can go and add some files from a folder that I've already got on my desktop. And away. Yes. A few photos within those. On the geo events, maybe 6,000 a week. Events. I showed you a million photos, and just to show you the power of the selfie recognition. Obviously, in Tough Mudder, they're covered in mud and sweat and water and whatever. 1.3 million photos were actually downloaded by participants based on them being able to find themselves quickly and easily using face recognition. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is look at sharing these photos. So all the photos I've uploaded, I can see that here. I'm going to go and share these photos. So the simplest way to do that is to just click here, click the link. The link's been copied to my clipboard. And I can now go to a new tab, paste that link in here. And of course, that link I could share on social media platform. I could share it in an email, anything that I wanted to. So that's how to simply upload your photos. And I can come here and I can see, here's my photo. It's $10.95. There's the standard watermark of the photo, the Geosnapshot logo. And of course, I can go and add this to my cart, and away I go. You can see it's selected here, and I can go and check out and purchase that photo using credit card or PayPal. And so you can see the search mechanisms here. I could upload a selfie to be able to limit the number of photos that I was looking at to just the photos of me. There's some other filters here, time of participation. So I can squeeze down these bars and just look at a specific time that I'm interested in. I can look at different albums, and a lot of people use this for like different, let's say different soccer matches on different pitches that may be running across a whole day or a weekend. So this might be the pitch number. It might be in a triathlon. It might be the start line or the finish line or the swim leg or whatever. You can also do by bib number. That's automatic. And by the way, just so you're aware, all of the face recognition and bib recognition has been done on these photos already. It's nearly instantaneous as they're uploaded to the platform. So really quite remarkable technology. And yeah, that's what Geosnapshot is a technology platform to enable you to have a great photo viewing experience with us and your club. So hopefully that was around 3 minutes, and you can come back and revert to this. But it's as easy as that to get started on the Geosnapshot platform, create an event, and upload your own club photos.
Andy, we just have a couple other questions come through. One of the questions relates to a bib number. Does that also work in the same way like a jersey number or a shirt number does in soccer or AFL or rugby?
So yes is the answer to that. It'll pick up numbers on the back of jerseys. It'll also pick up things like in netball, like GA for goal attack or something like that. So it's basically reading characters that it can see on the screen and presenting those as part of the bib numbers. We use the phrase bib numbers because obviously a lot of people, like runners and things like that, have bibs written. And people are used to searching. Like the old way to search is through bib numbers. What I would say is that even though bib number recognition obviously does work and is used quite a lot, face recognition is absolutely incredible. It will pick up people's photos in mass crowd situations, even if it can see half a face or the side-on profile of a face. So really the best way for people to search is through face recognition, but yes, bib number recognition does work with jersey numbers as well.
And the next one is, I'll combine two questions from two different individuals. One is, what is the cost to use a Geosnapshot platform? And the other question evolves around ownership of photos. And once photos are uploaded to the Geosnapshot platform, who has access to those photos, and are they still owned by us being the organisation that uploaded the photos?
Yeah, great questions. Let me make sure, Karen, if you can just make sure I cover all of those. So the ownership of the photos is whoever's taken the photos, right? So if it's a club that has those photos, then you retain ownership of the photos. And let me switch that around another way. We do not own the photos. We do not own the copyright to the photos. We are, if you like, simply a platform that enables your photos to be uploaded to the platform and distributed to your members. Okay, so we don't retain copyright. You, as the photographer of the club, can come in and delete those photos at any point that you want to. We don't promote these photos on things like Google Images. You can't find any of these photos. They're just available through the website, and obviously if you download them. When people download them, they have to agree to terms and conditions. Those terms and conditions are for personal use only. So they can't be used for things like magazines and press, like normal press. You can obviously use them yourself for your own press, but you can't use them for any other mechanism. We do get the press contacting us sometimes, asking, can we use some photos? And what we do then is put the press people in touch with the organisation. and enable them to figure out some kind of deal or whatever needs to be done there. So we never take ownership of the photos. The copyright stays with essentially the photographer, and that could be the club or the actual photographer themselves. In terms of cost of the Geosnapshot platform, so we're offering the platform for, through Stack Sports, through our, through our partnership with Stack Sports, completely free to all of the members, all of the clubs that are part of Stack Sports community. So there is no subscription fee for the event organisers themselves, the clubs. There is no subscription fee for photographers. There are no photo limits. You can give your photos away free of charge. So it's a completely free platform. If you choose to sell your photos on the platform, you retain 70% of the photo sale, and we keep 30%. And that's our standard kind of revenue split, obviously to make sure that we can still keep running the platform. So that's what we're wanting to do, and we're wanting to get people started within Geosnapshot as quickly as possible. Now, after COVID finishes, you might say, well, what's the cost then? Well, there's still no subscription costs. We keep 30% of sales from the platforms. If you run lots of events where you want to give photos away free of charge, we would come into some negotiation about whether you might pay a small monthly fee or you might pay a fee per participant who attends the event to keep the platform running. But essentially, we want you to be using this platform both now for archive photos and also in the future for future events. The platform is essentially free to use. But if you choose to do lots and lots of events where you're offering photos free of charge, we would charge a small amount for using the platform there. I think the third one, Cam, was who can see the photos? Well, we have a lot of schools using our platform where obviously, they don't want the photos being made available to everybody. So you can choose when you set up your event to password protect the photos being seen here on screen. So you would have to have that password to be able to view the photos. If you didn't have that password, then you could then contact the event organizer and request that password, but you wouldn't be able to view the photos in any way. And any events that are password protected do not appear in like a global selfie search. So you couldn't just upload somebody's photo, a child's photo, for example, and say, show me all the photos of this kid, because the photos of them at password protected events wouldn't appear. Does that answer the questions that have been raised there, Ken?
Sure does, Andy.
Great. And so, so we're very particular about the safety and security. We've got a lot of schools using this platform for things like theatrical productions, their sports events, weekends away, things like that. And we also have a lot of surf lifesaving clubs and nippers events and things like that, where, they're photos of kids. So we need to protect, those photos, and that's absolutely looked after on the platform. So, what we really want to do, so the reason for us coming together today, and again, thanks to Stack Sports for doing this, is that we can really get these memories out to your members. And as I said, it's completely free of charge to use. We want you to just being able to engage your members with the memories from previous events. So the actions that you can take right now is three, basically. One is to register on the Geosnapshot platform. And the way that you do that is with a specific URL. So I went to geosnapshot.com and I went to the login sign up previously. You would use this URL that's on screen here to access Geosnapshot. So you just type in this URL, it'll just take you to our website, and you can then click in the button. And the reason that you do this is it registers you as an event organizer, as a club that's come through that's come through Stack Sports, and then you will have all the benefits that we've been talking about here. So make sure that you type in that URL and then go and register as an event organizer. You can then review this video or simply go in, create an event and upload your own photos. And then you can post that link out to your members, and they can do all the selfie searching, and you'll find that they will find photos of themselves. They will share it on their Facebook pages. You can ask them to tag the club in there, and you'll see lots and lots of people going to do that. As I've mentioned, the Geosnapshot platform is completely free of charge, and we're offering that until the end of May, so that you've really got quite a long time to get started. There's no photo limits. There's no charges other than that 30% if you want to sell photos, and 70% going to you. But if you want to share photos completely free of charge, you can do, and all of those archive photos can be put up onto the platform. So really happy to go into some questions and answers about that now, see what your feedback is about how easy this is to use, and whether you think it's something that'll be useful for you and your club.
Andy, there was just one other question. Says the footnoting indicate the platform is free until the 31st of May. What happens after the 31st of May? And I imagine that's when you would get in touch with that organisation to discuss how widely they're using the platform and negotiate a month-to-month fee with that particular organisation. Is that correct?
Yeah, and it really depends what the organisation's doing. As I said, if you're using it, to sell photos on the platform, completely fine. There's going to be no other costs. We just simply take that 30% from any photos that you sell. You keep the 70%, right? By selling the photos that you're uploading to the platform. If, as I said, you're creating lots of events that are free events, that are sort of mass participation events, we want people to be able to use the platform in some ways for free. But if you're running a 10,000 person running event and giving the photos away free of charge, clearly you're using a lot of Geosnapshot resources in that. And we would contact you and say, hey, okay, you've got a free event, which is 10,000 people. We might charge you per participant usage, for example, or we might charge you a monthly fee if you've got 20 of those events running throughout the year, okay? But in essence, we're definitely not going to do anything about that before the end of May with people that register through the Stack Sports sort of URL there. And afterwards, we could go into some conversation about that. But it's really for people that are running lots of events or big events and giving the photos away free of charge. Does that answer that question, Cam, do you think?
Absolutely. I think, we've been working on our partnership now for over 12 months. I think it's a very, very exciting time as sporting organisations look to pivot into other areas, look to continue their revenue and income streams coming in. And it's an ideal opportunity, especially with the way online shopping and e-commerce is booming at the moment, for organisations to pivot and look at other sources of revenue for their particular sporting clubs or national sporting organisations. Andy, thank you very much for joining us today. We were expecting a few more people online, but for those who have joined us, this recording will be available via our website in the not too distant future. So if you just go to sportstg.com/COVID-19, I'll send an email out to everyone who has attended today's webinar on where they can access the recording. And one other thing, we just wanted to announce that later this week, on Thursday or Friday, we'll be finally going live with our podcast series. And we've got some great interviews with some of our partners, some of our existing customers, and some from industry-leading experts in the area of sports technology and the industry of sports business in general. The podcast is called The Full Stack. It's available from wherever you access your podcasts, and that'll go live on Thursday or Friday this week. So please be sure to keep an eye out for that. And Andy and Angela from your team at Geo, thank you very much for joining us today. And we appreciate everyone giving up half an hour of their time. And we hope you're all staying safe during these times. And once again, we'll be back again with another edition of The Full Stack at 12:30 next Wednesday lunchtime. Thanks again, everyone.
Thank you.